Well, hey everybody. I want to continue on with the off-grid series, but I want to give a little update first and get right into that. Well, first off, it's a real nice sunny day, but it's actually our first cold day. It's got below freezing the past couple nights, and here it is getting close to noon, and it's still only about 40 degrees. I guess we're going to be getting down to about 18 in a couple days here. So, with that in mind, I've been busy getting the off-grid camper winterized and getting some making sure I got all my heat sources set up and things of that nature. As far as the series goes, I had also I got a new phone, and I'm going to be using that to make the rest of the videos for the series. So this is somewhat of a test video for the phone as well. Hopefully the audio's good and all that stuff. If it's not, let me know. If it's good, please let me know as well. But let's see, as far as the off-grid series goes, to refresh everyone's memory, the way I wanted to break that down on how the process I went through to get off-grid or to go off-grid, or why was I was put into a survival situation, and I had to stop and take inventory of what I had and what I could do to continue living. And the easiest way for me to do that, being that I like survival and I understand that process of survival, is we always look for the four basic elements of survival: shelter, water, fire, and food. I'm going to get beyond that with the series, but those are the first four things I'm going to cover. So I've already covered shelter and water. The next video is going to be on fire, and then the final video will be on food. But I'm also going to go further into transportation and communication and things of that nature as well, because I think that's important. And I believe a lot of times, well, I know for a fact, because I know people who have tried to go off grid and it didn't work out very well, or they weren't able to really get off grid and stay off grid the way they wanted to. It wasn't what they thought it was going to be. So that's why I want to cover those things, because hopefully it will help someone to make that transition, or maybe it'll help them decide whether or not to even attempt it. Maybe it's not for you. And again, me going off grid, that's really just an internet terminology to me. That's a hype word or whatever that people key in on in this day and age. But it wasn't so much going off grid, it was just, hey, I need to survive. I have very limited resources. How am I going to do it? And that was the best way for me. And so that's what I'm going to do with the series. And what happened is, when I made the first two videos on shelter and water, I also went ahead and made all the rest of the videos for the series. But you know me, just like with this video, I tend to ramble on and I get off topic, and it ends up being this long 15-20 minute video. And when I made that intro video, if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch it, because that's going to explain this much better. I said that I wanted to make one video on each of those categories that was short and sweet, bullet points, straight to the point. What was the cost? What did I do? And of course, I got off into a bunch of other things, and I want to avoid that. So I'm going to redo all those other, it's like 4 to 6 videos using this camera, hopefully. And then try and keep them under 10 minutes, hopefully under 5 minutes. But for me, that's almost an impossibility to do a video that's under 5 minutes. But at least keep them under 10 minutes and try and keep them straight to the point. That way, for those people who just want to get the information, they can get it without having to sit there through a big long video and hear some guy in a box, you know, some head in a box talking on a screen. Let you get that information, and then I'm going to go back through, you know, depending on the comments I get and feedback and my own personal thoughts, and hit each one of those topics again. Maybe not every one of them, but at least cover certain things and go into like, why did I not do this, or would this have been a better way to go, or what were some other options that I tried that didn't work, things of that nature. But for the main series, I want to keep it short and sweet, so I'm going to redo those vids. Big part of the reason, other than me wanting to redo the vids and make them better for you, for the delay, has been working. I just been working. This is my first day off in a while, so I figured I'd come out in the woods, find a nice sunny spot, and just chill out. Got the cat over here. You can't see her, but she's here. She goes hiking with me, so it's kind of nice. She gets kind of antsy and crazy if I don't take her for a hike every once in a while. More like a, let me grab her. Hey. This is Smoo. See, she's biting me right now.
She's all antsy. She just wants to get out and do something.
But I don't know if she's really a tame cat or not.
I got my glove on now.
Now she's probably gonna attack my legs. But she's a really cool cat because I've never had a cat that would follow you through the woods. I've walked several miles just through the forest. No trails, no nothing. And she pretty much sticks with me every step of the way. And I don't know if you've ever had a hunting dog, but I know a few people who have, and if the dog gets lost, he'll tend to stay right there, and if he's well trained or whatever, I don't know. But I've heard that a lot of hunting dogs will stay right there and wait for you to come back and get them. My cat does the same thing. If we do get separated and she's quite far away from home, apparently if she can't find her way back, then she just sits right there where I last saw her, and I end up going back later on that day and finding her, and she ends up following me back home. But for the most part, she sticks right with me. She's a great hunter, keeps mice and stuff like that out of the camper, so that's a nice thing because there's a lot of that up here. I'm in the middle of the woods. Obviously there's squirrels and chipmunks and mice and everything trying to get in. And well, when I first got her, I had when I first moved here, there was a deer that would come up in my yard, and it almost became like a pet deer. I had it just about eating carrots out of my hand. It would come up about 5 feet away and eat the carrots, so that was pretty neat. And when I got the cat went running up to the deer, and the deer came down and they touched each other's noses, and next thing you know, they were jumping around playing. I thought the cat was going to bite the deer, or the deer was going to stomp the cat, but they didn't. They were basically playing with each other, and the deer went running off through the woods, and the cat went chasing after it, and you know, hours later, here comes the cat back. So I thought that was pretty neat. And but again, you know, I just ramble, but I can ramble in this video because this is just to an update video, a test video for the camera, that kind of thing. And figure I'll use this video to get that out of the way. And I don't need my reading glasses anymore. Got to put them on to start the camera because I really can't see the buttons well enough to start it without the glasses. Oh, speaking of seeing things, I've seen a lot of buck scrapes recently. Well, I really haven't got to get out here in the woods in over about a week. So it's like it's getting into the second week of November now, but right around the end of October, 1st of November, you know, I was seeing lots of buck sign scrapes, rubs, lots of trees rubbed, lots of licking branches, and I don't know, it got me kind of excited for that fall time of year with hunting and stuff coming in. The deer are all going into rut. They're probably in the peak of the rut right now, and they might be starting to get out of it. But it's just a awesome time to be out in the woods. All the oak leaves are falling. But it makes me think of winter and how cold it was in that camper last winter. So I had to put the videos on hold and focus on survival again. Hopefully get things straight around the place so that I can have a slightly more comfortable winter. Guess I'll do a little walking with the camera. I just got you wedged. You were just wedged between this tree branch right here. There's the cat. Go, hopefully I didn't just mess something up. I always press the buttons on this camera when I don't want to. Can't see without my glasses, but I think it's still recording. Still wearing tennis shoes in the Great White North. I got boots too that I wear, but for the most part I just wear tennis shoes. A lot of people out there laugh that I'm supposed to be this, well, I don't claim to be, but people seem to think that I think I'm some great white hunter or something. And why am I out in the woods wearing a blue work jacket and white tennis shoes? But I've said it before, I can wear scent block clothing, camouflaged, and I don't see any more deer. I see just as many deer and wild game and stuff wearing this get up, you know, brown jersey gloves and whatever jacket I happen to have on and whatever shoes I seem to be wearing. The only reason I wear boots is to keep my feet warm or dry. Well, if it's like this, there's no need to be wearing some big heavy boots. It's just so nice up here. Little brambles all over the ground. I think these are dewberries. I rarely see any berries on them though. I don't know if the animals get them or just being in the forest, they just don't really produce much. But there's also, I've showed it before, lots of wintergreen and blueberries. There's a lot of, I've never ate them before. Get you turned around here. But there's lots of, I think they call them Saskatoons. There's another name for them, but it's a little shrub. I think shad bush maybe or something like that. But it's supposed to get berries on it, but I rarely see those here either. I see the shrubs everywhere, but no berries. Witch hazel, hawthorn. There's a lot of hawthorn in here, but again, it really doesn't grow very big, and I rarely see any hawthorn berries on them. We got sweet fern. Smells really good. It's kind of like yarrow or something like that, but I've had heard people say they'll make a tea with this. I've never done it, but also I read that in the olden days they would take that sweet fern and they would line it in their bread baskets and fruit baskets and things of that nature, and it was supposed to prevent mold and mildew and make the bread and fruit and stuff last longer. I don't know. I put it under the seat cushions in my camper and it made the place smell good, but I still had lots of mold issues, so I don't know, it may have actually caused the mold. It didn't mold itself, but I don't know. There. Now you can see my ugly mug in the woods. And the cat climbing up the tree. She's got energy. She'll climb way up these trees. She chased a squirrel about, I don't know, 50, 75 foot up in an oak tree. The squirrel jumped to the next tree over, which was about 10, 15 feet away. And it just sat there antagonizing the cat. Cat's up in the tip top of this oak tree with the wind blowing, swaying back and forth. And I'm like, cat? And the cat was looking like he wanted to jump to get the squirrel in the other tree like 10, 15 feet away. And like, you're not gonna make it. I think that squirrel was trying to bring my cat to a bitter end. Trick him into trying to jump that distance and let him fall 75 feet to the ground. I don't know if the cat would recover from that. But my cat treed another cat. Here's where a deer had bedded down. It's hardly noticeable, but it's just a flattened area of grass right here about the shape of a deer's body. Here's where another one bedded. Right over through there. This is a more open little area that's kind of grassy, so they get a little bit of that southern exposure, so it's probably a good bedding area for them. There's deer all through here. Turkey. The DNR even has video of cougars in the area. Well, supposedly, that's what I heard. But there's supposedly cougars around, bobcats. My cat had treed another cat in the middle of the daytime, and that cat was probably 30, 40 feet up in the tree, and my cat came to me, and that other cat jumped out of the tree 30, 40 feet up and hit the ground pretty hard and took off running through the woods. My cat went chasing after it. I think it landed on its feet, but its feet weren't strong enough to support it when it hit the ground from that height. But that's a lot of what you see up here. Here's a type of club moss. These have been used in the past for, they look like little cedar trees, but it's actually a moss, a club moss. There's different varieties. They've been used for things in the past as well. I don't know much about them. There's lots of different mosses up here, lots of lichens on the tree and stuff. Old man's beard. I've already mentioned all that in a lot of past videos though. Here comes the cat. She sticks right with me. Sometimes she'll get distracted because she smells something or finds a hole, and she'll be back there and she'll lose sight of me and she'll start meowing, and I'll have to click for her and she'll come running. But I should probably cut this video off. I really just wanted to give an update, test out the camera, and hopefully get some feedback from you on how the camera works with the audio and everything else. And let you know that the off-grid series is going to continue. It's just going to be at a much slower pace when I find the time to make the videos with work and everything. And then the days will probably be different. I said Tuesdays or Thursdays before. It's pretty much just going to be whatever day I happen to have available to do it. But when I do it, I'm going to make the video and upload it right then and there. So hopefully that will be, I don't know, kind of add to it. It won't be a live video, but it'll be a fresh video. Let you see the seasons and stuff as they go. But like I said before, I'm just not into that, like, dedicated, devoted, using up my whole life energy to make YouTube videos and do the comments and all that. It's just not what I want to do anymore. But I do like YouTube, and I do like sharing the videos, and I do like hearing from people, and I still like watching YouTube videos. I'm just not into the whole other aspect that came into play when Google took over with the social networking and the Google Plus and all that. It's just not my thing, and I understand people like that, but it's not me. I just like making the videos when I feel like making them, and watching them when I feel like watching them, and actually enjoying it, you know. So that's the way it's gonna go, and hopefully you'll stick around, and hopefully, I thought the leaf fell on the camera, but it fell on this side. Hopefully I'll get to see your videos too when I get a chance. But enough rambling. Gonna say, as always, thanks for watching.